So for our first example, we have that the median before tax income of a full-time worker with a bachelor's degree exceeds that of a full-time worker with an associate's degree by $15,000, while the median yearly before tax income of a full-time worker with a master's degree exceeds that of a full-time worker with an associate's degree by $30,000. Combined, 3 full-time workers in each of these educational attainments earns $195,000 before taxes. Find the median yearly before tax income of full-time workers with each of these levels of education. Oh boy, that's a lot of words. It sounds very intense. It sounds like it's going to be really difficult, but we'll see that once we get to the actual math step, that's not so bad. So here, what we're going to do is go through this statement carefully, and what we should notice is that the way this problem is given, it tells us the amount each of those jobs makes relative to the person with the associate's degree. It tells us that the bachelor's is $15,000 more, and the master's is $30,000 more. So, because we can get all 3 in terms of the associates if we make our basic piece the associate's degree. For this, our whole system will be built in terms of setting X as the median income with an associate's. So, if we have that piece of information, then going on to the next step, that will tell us that X plus 15 is going to be the median with a bachelor's. I don't want to misspell that and embarrass myself. While X plus 30 will be the same thing, but with a master's degree instead. And if I'm making $30,000 more than a teacher with an associate's degree, oh boy, is that teacher with an associate's degree having a rough life.
Welcome to ladders.
Anyway, with those 3 pieces, we can then move on to our next step, which is to actually write out an equation that puts all this together, where we have that total amount in terms of each of the 3. So we have that X, median for associates, plus X plus 15, median with bachelors, plus X plus 30 is equal to $195,000. I'm not going to write $1,000 here, it's implied, but we know we're getting there. So what we can do from there, if we want to actually do math to solve the equation, just stack our pieces. X, 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 we got 3 of those, and 15, 30, 45, those are thousands, I guess if you want to think about it. 195, take the 45, subtract it over, subtract 45 from both sides, that is, and we'll be left with 3x equals 195 minus 45, or 150. And I'll say that usually I'm going to be a little bit quicker, for one, because it makes the notation a lot cleaner if I don't write minus 45 every time, and also because at this point I'm hoping you have kind of the idea for what I did there, even if I don't necessarily write that exact detail. But that's what happened here. With that, next we're going to divide both sides by 3 to kill that 3. Divide 3x by 3, you're left with x. Divide 150 by 3, and you are left with 50. So you have that the median income for a graduate with an associate's degree is $50,000. That would tell us that the median for bachelor's is $65,000. Median for master's would then be $80,000. And I'm going to do this in my head, but you can check it for yourself. 50 plus 65 plus 80 is $195,000, as we were supposed to get. Where I will say that with this type of problem, if we hadn't set this thing up with everything in terms of x, we could have done it where this is x, that's y, that's z, and then we pull those constraints around in some careful way. We'd probably just end up back here regardless. Or we could use a much more advanced technique if we had a little bit more information. But with this, we're happy to have had what we had. Anyway, next thing we're going to do is another example.